Okay, so this is a machine learning platform that enables a computer to learn human language. It helps us to train and program our computers to understand human language, and they do things automatically. So so we are not just going to learn how to make Scratch program to respond to commands. We are exploring how computers can be trained to recognize patterns in human language and also use that understanding to control real-world devices. So you need to control real-world devices. For example, you may be away and you want to shut down the lights. You want to switch off lights in your house. How will you do it? You give commands. You will give a command. You ever heard of vehicles? You have given someone your vehicle, instead of going to Nairobi, you track the vehicle, it's going to maybe Eldoret. How will you tackle that? You need to send a command and that vehicle will stop. So that's a smart system that we are trying to look at today. So this project is very vital. It's going to teach us very important aspects and components. For example, let's get down to building our machine learning project. How do you call this project? Smart Assistant. Smart Assistant. Smart Assistant. What are we trying to do? We are trying to train our computer to recognize human language. To recognize human language. So that you can create a what? An automated smart system. And we shall see how helpful it is in our daily lives. What are some of these smart systems? Smart voice assistants. Have you ever heard of Siri, Alexa? You just get to your house and start shouting commands and things just happen. The TV just switches on automatically. Say lights on, the lights come on. Even on your phone, Google Assistant. Hey Google, can you call Peter? That's a smart assistant. Another example of smart assistant, facial recognition systems. A system can recognize your face, and we also have self-driving vehicles. That's the most current upcoming technology. How do you think a self-driving car operates? It has been fed with millions and millions of images. So it sees this one is a tree, this one is a person, this is an oncoming vehicle, and so on. So let's think along that line as we perform our project. So after clicking on the link that Joel has shared with us in the chat box, it will take you to this platform. You can name your project any name that's favorite to you. So project name, Smart Assistant. Project type. Project type. So there are so many models for maybe recognizing text. So there are so many models you can build. Today's model is recognizing text. Other models, recognizing images. For example, a self-driving bus. Gari inajiendesha peke yake bila driver. Itajuaje an oncoming vehicle, a tree on the side, a pedestrian? That's a model that has been built in that vehicle, recognizing numbers, recognizing sounds, so there are so many aspects of building models, but today's focus is recognizing text, typing a command, and then what? The computer does its function automatically. So utaguza pale, organizing text, language is English, storage, where do we store? In your web browser. Then you create your project. Create the project first. Create the project. Smart Assistant. After creating your project, you need to train that project or that model. You give it loads and loads of data so that it knows. If you ask it, what's the difference between a chair and a mango? What's the difference between a chair and a mango? You give it many images of chairs, you give it many images of mangoes. So when it sees a green mango, it's a mango. A blue chair is still a chair. A green chair is a chair. Why? It has compared and contrasted all those images. So back to our project, you train. Let us train our model. Right now, we are not just consumers of AI. Teachers, we are not just consumers of AI. We are creating an AI model. So you should be very proud. You are an engineer now. You are creating an AI model. So let us train our own AI model called Smart Assistant. Train. What do we want to train? We want to train this model to enable us switch off lights and switch on. You just enter a room. And you shout out your commands. Switch on the lights. Then boom, the lights come on. Just like God said, let there be light when he was creating the earth. So we are doing God's work in IT. So let there be light, and the light comes on. So add a new label. Let us add a label. What do we want? Lights on. Lights.
But kitu yenye unafunza mimi nilikuwa na content before.
Lights on. Lights on. Then you add. We are adding on labels to our model. Lights on. If you want the lights to switch on, what will you say? What will you say? What will you tell it? Ipatie command. Let's share in our chat box. Utaiambia maneno gani umeingia kwa room? What will you tell? What will you shout? Of course, the first one is lights on. Lights on. Then you add that example. Add an example. Like, give me another example. I'm sure not everybody will say lights on. Not dim light, Shadrach. Oh, yeah, I like your answer. But the label is for switching on. Oh, lights. Thank you, mother. Lights. Any other command? Lights. Light up. Wow, like that. Light up. Someone will say it's too dark. That's still a command. It's too dark in here. It's too dark. It's too dark. Yes, it's too dark. I want you to reach around 8 or 10 so that the AI can have a variety of choices to choose from. We are training our model. We are not using rules. We are giving so many examples. Just like a young kid, you are teaching it, what's a hen? You don't start telling a hen has 2 legs, a hen has feathers. No, just show him or her very many examples of hens, then they just know this is a hen. Now let's add another label. This is just a demonstration. Another label is now the negative one. Lights off. Lights off. Now let's think of commands you can give this model. You are training our model. Ukisikia mtu akisema hivi, fanya hivi. So the lights on ziko kando, the lights off they are separate. Lights off. Let's share the commands for lights off. Think of any way you frame your response in the chat box. Lights off. Obviously, the first one is lights off. Lights off. then you add lights off. Naweza hata ika Kiswahili zima taa, sio? Zima taa. It's a machine, it's learning our language. Eh? We are the one controlling it. Light intensity. Okay, thank you. So I think you get the concept of training our model. Now there's one I had already made. That's so we have 4 categories of our labels. So fan on, turn on the fan. Please turn fan on. You don't have fan on. So kuna fan on, our project, we have a fan, lights. So fan on, fan off, lights on, lights off. So let us take a look at them. So after giving it commands, remember we started by doing what? Creating a new project. Then we went to which step? Give it create labels. We are creating labels. In our project, we want a model that can switch on lights and switch off lights. Also, this model or this project should switch on a fan when it's too hot and switch off a fan. I mean, switch on a fan when it's too cold and switch off a fan when it's too hot. And these are the various examples of the commands you can give it. After that, touch on back to project. We have trained it. Tuliguza kwa train, tukaipea commands. Back to project. So unaguza kwa learn and test. Learn and test. So we have already given it examples of the commands. So you can see on the screen, what have you done? You have trained a machine learning model to recognize when text is fan on, fan off, or 2 other classes, which was what? Light on and lights off. You carry the model Wednesday 5th, 729. So you have collected 10 examples of fan on, 10 examples of fan off, 10 examples of lights on, 9 examples of lights off. So for example, let's test our model. There's this text box here. Let's try the Kiswahili version. Kuna giza. So let's test. What command is that? Recognizing. If you can see the response, you can unmute yourself and tell us what you can see on the screen. Kuna giza, imeisema aje? Lights off, huh? Let's put the light. Switch on lights. Switch on lights. Let us test the model. We are testing our model. It's processing. Switch on lights. So which means what? Recognize as lights on. Imeka kwa label ya lights on. Acha tuweka hapo switch off lights. Switch off lights. Label gani hiyo? It's processing lights off. So we have trained our model to recognize our commands into 4 groups. So either, let's try the fan. Let's try the fan. It's too hot. It's too hot. Kumbuka kuna lights na kuna fan. It's too hot. It's too hot. Which label is that? Fan on. When it's too hot, itapata hiyo command ya fan on. So after that, go back to project. Go back to project. Remember, we have trained our model with very many examples of data and text to recognize the text. So we end up make. Now we want to use this demonstration in Scratch program. Remember, we are fusing machine learning, which I've been doing. We have been training our machine. Now, we want to use Scratch program to use those commands to control a physical device. To control a physical device. What do you mean by a physical device? Oh, kombali unapeana command, unazima fridge yenye iko kwa nyumba yako. So you use a human input, it goes into machine learning, it labels your command, then it goes into Scratch program that will be used to control a physical device. So, unaenda kwa make. Remember, you're still in machine learning for kids. You are still on that link. You are still on that link. Hatujatoka kwa hiyo link, so everything is happening on that platform of machinelearningforkids.co.uk. After that, make, then you go to Scratch 3. Scratch 3. Scratch 3. Now, open in Scratch. Tunaguza kwa make. What are you trying to make? We are completing our model now. We are linking our model to Scratch program. Open in Scratch 3. Open in Scratch 3. So tunafungua hiyo model yetu kwa Scratch 3. So open in Scratch. After opening Scratch, touch on project templates. Project templates. Project templates. There's a number of templates you'll find there. We are looking for Smart Classroom. Smart Classroom. Smart Classroom. Under Smart Classroom, now this is a simulation. What's a simulation? It's a representation of the physical devices. These are a virtual representation of a fan. In the example too, but in real or practical aspect, we will be controlling a real fan and a real lamp. So you have a lamp and a fan for our demonstration here. So what do? Now we start coding. We want to start coding our fan and our lamp. The gray right there, classroom, fan and lamp. Now go to classroom. Now let's start coding the fan and the lamp using the model we built. Remember, it was lights on, lights off, fan on, fan off. So events, when the green flag is clicked, insert there a forever loop. Forever, and the processor should be continuing every now and then. When the green flag is clicked, insert forever. Then what do? Ask the user to input a command. When you are sensing blocks, ask what's your name. So when I change what's your name, unasema enter your command. Enter your command and wait. Enter your command and wait. Okay, so when you click the green flag, you see there's a text box here, enter your command. Then, if, insert an if statement here, if, chini yake, if, now I want to classify our commands. Kama commands ni lights on, ifanye kitu tofauti. Kama commands ni light off, ifanye kitu tofauti. Operators, look for if dash equals to 50. So in here, there's a operators. If dash equals to dash, do this. That's the meaning of the if command. So if the text, unakuja hapa smart assistant or extra code blocks, if the text, and here it's not the text, if the answer is equal to fan on, if the answer equals to fan on events, broadcast a command, broadcast turn fan on. We are creating an if statement here. If the answer from our model, remember, it asks you to enter a command. Then you say, switch off the lights. Then it will process that command, and the answer, if the answer lies in those among the 4 labels. So if the answer falls on fan on, broadcast turn fan on. Now let's do it for all the other 4. Duplicate. So here pili tuunde your fan off. What if it was fan off? If it's fan off, duplicate, broadcast turn fan off. Weka pale. Also duplicate. Now let's make the one for lights. If the answer is lights off, smart assistant block, if lights on, if the answer is lights on, broadcast lamp turn lamp on. Weka pale. Duplicate. If the answer is toilets on, you're just copy pasting and you're just duplicating because it's the same concept that's repeating. If the answer is lights on, broadcast lamp on. Or if it's lights off, broadcast turn lamp off. Okay, so I think our commands are now complete. Let's test our model. So this is a template. A template means what? Some work has been already done for you. So there's some code for the fan that's ready to receive your commands, and there's some code for the lamp. So you don't need to code it afresh. So it's a template that's ready to receive your commands. So no worries if you look on this platform, whatever you do here, the fan will understand your command. So let's try. Let's green flag, script, enter your command, light on, light on. Sorry for that. So light on, then press enter. Wow, it's lighting. It's lighting. Let there be light. Then light off. Then press OK. Oh, imezima. Okay. Let's try the fan or the lamp. Oh, fan on, fan on. Oh, it's rotating. Fan off. Fan off, fan off. Yes. So let's do it full screen maybe, that it's visible, more visible. So here is what you're being trying to do. Remember, we started with what? Machine learning. We gave it commands for the lights, light on, light off. For the fan, fan on, fan off. Then what did we do? We came to Scratch and coded. If you receive this response from the model, do this. If you receive this other one, do that. So here is our model. Which one was one of our commands that was unique maybe? Apart from light on, light off. Kuna zingine tofauti. It's too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot, man. The fan is rotating. It's too hot. And it's too hot and also it's too dark. It's too hot and it's too dark. It's too dark. Wow. So the fan is rotating and the light is on. Why? It has analyzed the commands and it knows what to do automatically.